Hi, good morning and welcome to my channel. I am just going to go out here today because PG&E was out here yesterday and they were doing some tree cutting and stuff, and I just wanted to go and see what exactly they did. They were here for the whole day and I had to stay inside because I didn't want the dog to bother them. So I'm just going to switch the view right now so we can take a look. Well, first thing I notice is this is the pole that AT&T didn't cut down. There goes a deer. And I'm noticing they are not doing the maintenance on this pole anymore. I usually mow this, but since I don't have a vehicle to get into town, I can't get my mower repaired. I don't know why they didn't mow this, because they were out here. They normally do like a circle there, so since I don't have a weed whipper, I can't do it. I don't know what that's about. Oh, they cut this limb off. I'm so glad they did that because it was so stupid. I want to do like a documentary on some of the things that PG&E does to trees, just to document how absurd it is. Look, I got firewood, so thank you PG&E for firewood. They were out here all day. I just want to see what they did. They were kind of parked all over here. You know, it just stopped raining, so I feel like a lot of times people come out here and it's like they're kind of doing this little intimidation game. Like, why haven't you mowed this? A lot of people will spray Roundup along, you know, the road and stuff instead of weed whipping it, because weed whippers suck. They're very bad. They're very hard on your back. But I'm going to come down here and mow this, but I need to bring my mower in. But since I don't have a vehicle, I haven't been able to get my mower fixed. And it's in really bad shape. And I only use it like this time of year, and it's just beaten up. So they were out here. I don't see anything that they've done. They didn't cut anything down there. I mean, I appreciate them coming out here, don't get me wrong. Like, I really appreciate that they come out here and do things, but they haven't done any, they didn't cut any of this stuff down. I mean, they didn't do any trimming. And basically it affects me and my neighbors, because if there's any kind of, you know, wind, storm, or anything, I mean, they didn't cut that. They didn't cut down any of that. They didn't do anything except that limb over there. And the only reason they did that limb was because they are responsible for cutting along up to the junction pole. But after that, they don't have to do anything, apparently, I guess. I'm not sure what they cut over here. I heard them over here. They were here all day. They cut down a tree and they just left it. I'm gonna go take a look, because this road, I've been trying to clear this road, but they just there was so much debris. They just left it on the road. They just left it all on this road for me. Great. I mean, the problem is because of they cut down 3 different trees. I don't even know, whatever. I'm not going to argue, but they just left it. They marked it there. But I've been trying to clear this road, but every year we just get another tree falls. It's, you know, every year something falls. Now I gotta write my dad a letter and just explain this, because I can't do this. This is too much for me. I mean, they were over here all day. I guess this is what they came out for, but they didn't do anything else. This road. Because last year, you know, we got 25 days of rain. So this vegetation, it just grows. I mean, they need to cut this down here. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, because it's already getting hot. I was basically stuck inside because I didn't want the dog. I didn't want him to be outside when they were, you know, doing what they were doing, which you just saw what it was. I mean, they must have had those trees marked, because I saw one was marked with an X, and I'm not sure if that's what if they do that or someone else does that. Now look, I think they cut down this tree over here, which I had already trimmed. They're just awful people. I mean, I appreciate their help, but they're awful people. They don't consult with anybody about anything. I mean, I thought they were going to actually do something. They cut down this tree, the one that I was in the last video. They just completely cut it down. And it wasn't in any danger. I mean, they cut that down. You saw that. And then they leave all this other stuff. And getting that wood out is hard. That was a nice tree. They just completely cut it. So basically, I think this is that's all that they did. So, I mean, I'm surprised they don't cut that tree down. Because you never know, right? Could fall. I don't want to do the geometry, but they don't do anything over here. I just got to go out and get the garbage, because they pick it up once a week. I don't know, that kind of makes me sick that they did all that and then they didn't actually do anything along the power line. They were just cutting things, you know. I don't know. They won't come back either, because they used to come out here. One sec. They won't be coming back here either, because I've lived here for like almost 25 years, and they would send out big crews of people, and they would come out and they would trim that little top 1 foot under the power line. And I don't know if it was drought that time during that period of time, things weren't growing as much, but you cut a foot and it grows back, and they got to come back a year later and cut a foot. I don't really understand these companies and their policies, because they do have like subcontractors. They subcontract a lot of the work out. So, and I have no way of knowing, who these people are. But there's some very suspicious stuff going on with these companies, because they won't hire locally, but then they'll subcontract with someone, and it's like they find the weirdest people, and they do it intentionally, like they're targeting people. They're targeting landowners. They're targeting individuals, not landowners, because it's not my land, but they're targeting individuals. And you have no recourse. It's like, where are they finding these people? You know, and the people themselves don't know that they're being used. But, I mean, they haven't done anything along here. They used to subcontract with the people that did the maintenance. And since they're not doing the maintenance along the pole anymore, I guess they don't, I don't know where that money's going. I don't know. They were supposed to bury the power lines. We're going to pay for it, obviously. But they didn't do anything along the power lines, so I don't know when they're going to do that. But it kind of makes me sick. So it just makes me sick because, like, they burn your house down, and I mean, I don't have a house now, obviously, so there's no point in me investing in solar. I mean, if I could go off grid, or, you know, whatever, however that works now, you know, I could save money. I wouldn't have to keep paying them. But it's just, I don't really feel safe here. You know, this is the kind of thing that doesn't make you feel safe. When you're being targeted, or an individual's being targeted, and when they come out here and they work all day and they don't actually do anything. I mean, they're cutting down living trees that aren't in any danger. I mean, what am I supposed to do? Come out here? I don't feel well. I'm not sleeping. Am I supposed to come out here and like micromanage them? I mean, isn't that their job? Or maybe they're not hiring people who actually know what they're doing. I mean, that was the whole reason that the fire started. I mean, we have very specific rules for burning or starting fires or precedents for fires, and they don't follow them. One of the main ones is that we don't burn in the summer, or like for that extended period on either side of summer. You just don't burn, period. Now in the winter and in the late fall and early spring, it's a little different. You're allowed to burn on certain days. But I don't know. It makes me sick when they don't have to follow the rules, you know, or they're bending the rules, or they're doing stuff like this where they're just not even they're not maintaining their road. Like that tree right there. Like that tree right there. I actually went and I had to cut down something myself. Now that seems more dangerous than what they cut down. I mean, those were big trees and everything, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like I'm being played. Like these people are just playing with me. It's just a game, you know. They don't understand. I'm old. I don't have a proper house. I don't have storage. I don't have a proper kitchen. I mean, when you don't have storage in your house, you've gone from living in a house to living in a room. That's a very old trailer, and there's no storage. I mean, look, they didn't do anything there. I had to go and cut something down myself just because it was dead. But it's like none of that stuff that they cut down was dead. They came here, this tree completely was completely gone. Like it burned in the fire. But because it has a massive root ball, you can't kill it. To kill these things, you've got to basically burn them down to the ground and then reburn them. And I don't even know if that would work. This one here, I want to see. Look at this tree. I mean, this tree was big, and it completely burned to the ground. And they wanted me to sign a waiver before they cut this tree down. They wanted me to sign a waiver to cut it down because they were afraid it was going to fall across the road. It's not a very tall tree, but it's just, you know, what I'm trying to say. They butcher stuff. This is what they do. I'm surprised that they didn't butcher that tree up there. I mean, they've done it over the years. See, this one here, I have to trim it, even though it's not my responsibility. I do it, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of dealing with them. I would really like them to be gone. Nothing against you guys. I mean, I know you guys are trying to do your job and you're just following orders, but I'm just sick of it. It's sickening. This tree here, I mean, look at this tree. It's basically cut on one half. So, I mean, is that dangerous? I don't know. They have slowly, over the years, before the fire, they cut down a few of these sides. Why not just cut the whole thing? Because it won't be lopsided and it's leaning. I mean, I'm gonna have to get up there and cut that off because it's stupid. I'm not an arborist, but I can kind of see how that limb jutting off there just doesn't make sense. I might as well, you know, cut that off. I just don't, I'm too old for this. I'm too old for this. I mean, you see all these, look at all these trees that they've just left. These aren't trees. These are trees that died after the fire, and they cut them down. So not only do we have trees that died because of the fire, which they're not doing anything about, they've just dumped all this responsibility on us. Like, we gotta cut these are trees that died in the fire that they set and didn't put out. Look, they're over there now. They're over there today. Oops, excuse my finger. All right, so I'm gonna try to put out, more videos. Probably going to start another channel because some of this stuff I'm kind of irate because I just need to voice my concerns and nobody really gets it. Like, I feel like whenever I complain, I just get ignored. Like, I have no voice. And I wonder sometimes what other people would do in my situation. And I feel like, you know, when you've got a group of people and you got a common interest and then you speak, people are going to listen to you. If there's 3 or more of you, people are going to listen to you. When it's just one person, they treat you like you're either crazy or just a Karen or, you know, something where they just don't feel like they even have to listen to you. And that's what makes it very frustrating when you contact your congressman or you contact your local representative and they don't even take you seriously. And then something like this happens and it's just too much. Like, this is not how you deal with things in the world. And if this is a trend, and I think it's because we're just, people are getting paid all this money just to live, and they can't function. I remember when I was working in the city, and I'm just thinking, how can we do, they would just keep putting more and more and more responsibilities on one person that would basically have been done by 3 or 4. And I think this is how they've solved having to, you know, help people, or to how to survive, or, you know, thrive in the world, is by just firing people. That's their solution, is just to fire people, instead of actually saying, you know, maybe we need to lower wages, but in order to compete in the world with wages, I guess, they need to, you know, just fire people. So what normally would have taken 3 or 4 people to do is now on one person, or robots, and the rest of us just are on our own. You know, we don't get a pension. We don't get to live in a place that has fiber optics. We don't get to live in a place that has good health care. So this is how they basically made us into a caste system, and we just got to deal with it.